This kingdom is mine and mine alone.
Now you might ask, why would Winston want to start a war against the High Table? While Winston seems like a good guy, if you watch these films from a certain point of view, you might notice some hints that he's actually been playing his own game. Plus, there is something a little diabolic about him. Like the time when he used a phone call to freeze all the hitmen around him. Someone like that clearly likes power and control.
You're going to war with the High Table.
Skirmish.
Okay, so you are Winston, the owner of the New York Continental Hotel. For most people, a position of power like this is a dream job, but not for you. No, you see yourself as a king. But of what kingdom exactly? No matter how much you lie to yourself, you are nothing but a pawn for the High Table. And after 40 years of serving under the table, you've had enough. You are tired of the High Table's rules and control, as they oppress anyone under the table. It's time for a change, and to be the king, you need to destroy all of your enemies. You need to create chaos, escalate things to the point of war. But first, you need to bring the deadliest hitman in the world out of retirement. And so it happens, destiny is on your side, because John Wick's wife is very sick. She's dying from cancer. The whole thing is very tragic, but it's the perfect opportunity for you. If she dies, John will be devastated, meaning it will be easier to control and manipulate him. And John has a crucial role to play in your war. And yes, you might have had something to do with Helen's condition getting worse. Sure, you didn't give her cancer, you're not that powerful, but you might have pulled some strings to mess with her medication and treatment. You've got people everywhere in the city, most of them like you or they're in your debt. So, you used some of your influence to make sure that Helen's condition deteriorates rapidly. Yeah, it's terrible, but you're doing John a favor here. She was gonna die anyway, why make her suffer?
A true tragedy.
While Helen is dying, you have a member of the High Table killed. The boss of the Camorra Syndicate and the father of Santino D'Antonio. Why D'Antonio? Well, that's because you know the father likes his daughter a lot more than his arrogant son, so she will inherit Daddy's seat at the table. You know that Santino is an entitled brat, so he will try to kill his sister Gianna to get that seat at the table. So predictable. And you know that John Wick owes a blood oath to Santino. Such a perfect coincidence that John's wife and Santino's father died around the same time. But wait, for Santino to call upon the blood oath, John needs to be back in the hitman game. So, you use your contacts and control to create a situation where John Wick and Vigo's son, Yosef Tarasov, will clash. Before John retired, he worked for Vigo Tarasov. And can it really be a freak accident that somehow the idiot who killed John's dog is also the son of John's former employer? No, you, Winston, orchestrated it all. Vigo Tarasov isn't just the head of a powerful Russian mafia, he's also an influential crime lord in New York. His death will not only benefit your end goal, but it will also remove the Tarasov Syndicate from New York, giving you ultimate power over the city. With Vigo out of the picture, John Wick is now back in the game.
But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Which means that Santino D'Antonio will demand that John honor the blood oath and kill his sister. And since you know that both John and Santino are hotheads, chances are John will kill both D'Antonio siblings and bring down the whole Camorra Syndicate in the process. The High Table loses power, and now there is chaos in the underworld. Your war is almost ready to start. John broke the rules. He killed Santino D'Antonio on continental grounds, causing John to be excommunicado. You decide to help him. Give him some time to escape, since you know that John is so angry at this point he won't stop until he kills anyone who comes after him. And his enemies are now the High Table, which is exactly what you had planned. You also know that Santino's death will bring a lot of heat, and the High Table will investigate. And due to their arrogance, they will insult powerful people like the Bowery King and the Director. And you use that, escalate events to a boiling point, creating friction between the factions. All of this chaos makes the High Table vulnerable. Sooner or later, the members of the table will have to come out of the shadows to regain control over their domain. And since the High Table members are now John Wick's targets, you know that they will all die.
I'll kill them all.
Of course you will.
You were successful in putting all the right pieces in place to get the perfect checkmate. After the clash with the Adjudicator, you sided with the High Table against John Wick. You had good reasons to do that. You showed them that you are loyal, but also you are not someone to be messed with. It's all part of your plan, because now, when the war starts, the High Table will see you as an ally, and you will be in a better position to destroy them from within. Since the Tarasov mob and the Kimura Syndicate have been dealt with, you are now the most powerful man in New York, and the High Table will need your influence, which gives you power over them. It also allows you to play both sides and dictate every outcome of the war. With luck, all the key players will kill each other.
He's a hustler.
Damn right, I'm a hustler, swindler, cheater, and liar.
But with all of your games, you might have made a colossal mistake. You betrayed John Wick. You tried to kill him. But you could still salvage things, find a way to convince him that you didn't really try to kill him, that you knew he would survive the attempt, and you had to fool the High Table into thinking you were on their side. But really, you're playing them, and you and John are still best friends. Hopefully that works, but you know that John Wick is not the forgiving type. John might be your angel of death in this war, the key to wiping out all of your enemies. But sooner or later, he will find out what you have done, how you manipulated him, that you had his wife killed. Considering the hell's fury he unleashed over a puppy, he will likely burn down the entire world to get to you. Well, good thing you've planned for this as well, and you have your own boogeyman killer. In Chapter 3, John met with the Elder, who is the leader of the High Table. The Elder rules from the shadows, hidden from the world, and a man such as him must have his own master assassin, an extremely skilled warrior who's worthy of protecting the leader of the High Table. And since John is likely to go after the Elder, he will clash with the High Table's guardian, who could kill John for you. This super assassin, man or woman, should be someone who could challenge John on every level. Not only be his equal, but someone who could actually be more skilled and deadly than John himself. Could you imagine if John Wick ends up clashing with someone like Tyler Rake from Extraction in Chapter 4? A fight like that will not only be brutal, but it will also really put John's skills to the test. I actually think that John should lose in his first fight against this other assassin. By John losing the first clash, the audience will understand just how dangerous and deadly this guardian really is. In this way, the stakes will be much higher when the two will have a rematch. It will make things feel far more intense and interesting. And who knows, maybe Winston was manipulating this super assassin as well. Maybe he is such a cunning genius that this guardian is actually working for Winston in secret. Perhaps Winston wanted the Guardian to get as close as possible to the key players in the High Table, like some deadly Trojan horse. Being so close to the most powerful people in the underworld could be a great source of information for Winston, as well as a good chance to understand his enemy better, so he can destroy them without them having any idea of what's coming. I think the John Wick franchise will really become iconic if we learn that Winston was actually behind it all, and this will be the kind of twist that people will talk about for years. Sure, it's a little wild, but a lot of it does make sense from a certain point of view. I wonder where Sharon stands in all this. Will he stay loyal to Winston or team up with John? I'm not sure I'll be able to handle seeing John killing Sharon.
Well played, sir.